Hi, Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome to another day, another story. I am MAISARAH, your host today. I hope everyone is in good condition and have a good weekend. As usual, every week we are going to discuss about topic related to our daily life. So can anyone guess what this today's topic? Yes, we are going to discuss about yeast, and I thought that everyone's very familiar with this kind of product. So before we go further, let me introduce you our guests that were experts in this field. First, we have Dr. N from University of California. Second, we have Chef Nick from YUSOFF Bakery. Third, we have Sir RAZIF as a food counselor. And fourth, we have Miss NADIA from CCM Pharmaceutical. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, even though we are in different places right now. So without delay, let us start our discussion with explanation about yeast from Dr. N.
Thank you for inviting me for today's talk about an interesting topic, yeast. Yeast is a common product that is used in our daily food, drink, and medicine. I'm honored to tell about the principle of yeast. At present, approximately 700 yeast species are recognized, but only a few are commonly known. Relatively, few natural habitats have been truly investigated for yeast species. Consequently, we can assume that many more species await discovery. Because yeast are widely used in traditional and modern biotechnology, the exploration for new species should lead to additional novel technologies.
As we know that yeast is very popular in the bakery field, can you explain more about this, Dr. N?
I want to emphasize more about the yeast that bakers usually use since it is easy to be understood. The scientific name for the yeast that the bakers use is Saccharomyces cerevisiae, or sugar-eating fungus. A very long name for such a tiny organism. This species of yeast is very strong and capable for fermentation, the process that causes bread dough to rise. The yeast cell digests food to obtain energy for growth. Their favorite food is sugar in its various forms. Sucrose that we can find in beet and canned sugar, fructose and glucose that is found in honey, molasses, maple syrup, and fruit, and maltose derived from starch in flour.
What is the process that yeast undergo?
Sure. The process is alcoholic fermentation. Produces useful end products, carbon dioxide and ethyl alcohol. These end products are released by the yeast cell into the surrounding liquid in the dough. In bread baking, when yeast ferments the sugars available in the flour and from added sugar, the carbon dioxide gas cannot escape because the dough is elastic and stretchable. As the result of this expanding gas, the dough inflates or rises. Thus, the term yeast-leavened bread was added to the vocabulary of the world of baking. The ethyl alcohol produced during fermentation produce the typical flavor and aroma of yeast-leavened bread. Fermentation occurs naturally in nature. For instance, many berries break open in late fall when they are overripe and full of sugar. Natural yeast organisms so small they cannot be seen with the naked eye. Lodge on the surface of these berries, which then become fermented and alcoholic. That's all. Thank you.
Interesting sharing from Dr. N. There are almost 700 species of yeast were recognized. Oh, it's so much, Dr. N. So, for the next question, I will ask Chef Nick from YUSOFF Bakery with your views regarding the how to make or how to produce the yeast.
I will try to explain in the simplest way so that everyone could understand about it. So basically, yeast is produced by fermentations. Ripening yeast, including lactic acid bacteria, are often produced under hygiene conditions in a specialized fermenters conditions, but with different sources. Do you know what that actually means by aerobic?
Thing that can only occur with the presence of oxygen, right?
Yes, you're right. Notably, under aerobic condition or with a air or oxygen presence, this fermentation must be carried out. In a wide tanks, the fermentation is carried out. It is harvested by centrifugation as the yeast fill the tanks, producing an off-white cream that known as cream yeast. This is further processed into any of many distinct forms. So, do you know how many forms does the yeast process?
I'm not so sure, but I guess it has a 4 form.
Well, that's quite close, but it is actually has 3 forms. The first one is compressed yeast. It is a soft, solid block with a minimal storage properties which is still commonly used commercially. The next one is the active dry yeast, which has to be rehydrated before it can be used and is often delivered in bits or granules. And the last one is instant yeast. It is a fine powder packed with vacuum that has become popular in home bread making as it is simple to use.
Oh, so the one that we usually use in baking
Yes,
was the
it
last
is.
one, right?
Thank you so much, Shafli, for sharing your thoughts about the methods used in produce yeast. So I think that our audience wants to know more about this today. And without delay, either Sir Razif or Miss Nadia want to share about your application of yeast that is very related to our daily life.
Hello everyone. So for making it simple, yeast has two main uses in food production. First is making alcoholic beverage, and we have been making fermented drinks such as beer and wine for thousands of years. Did you all know that the chemical analysis recently confirmed that the earliest alcoholic beverage in the world was in 7,000 to 6,600 before the Common Era? And the second is yeast grilling. This is a famous yeast in food production for making bread and baking. This method has been used since ancient time, and there is evidence that the ancient Egyptians used this in making bread. First is brewing. Several different yeasts are used in brewing beer, where they ferment the sugar present in malted barley to produce alcohol. One of the most common is Saccharomyces cerevisiae, the same strain used in bread making. This is used to make other type beer and is known as a top fermenting yeast as it forms a foam on the top of the brew. Bottom fermenting yeast, such as Saccharomyces pastorianus, are more commonly used to make lager. They ferment more of the sugar in the mixture than the top fermenting yeast, giving a cleaner taste. Next is wine making. The alcohol in wine is formed by the fermentation of the sugar in grape juice, with carbon dioxide as a byproduct. Yeast is naturally present on grape skin, and this alone can be sufficient for the fermentation of sugar to alcohol occur. Sparkling wine is made by adding further yeast to the wine when it is bottled. The carbon dioxide formed in the second fermentation is trapped as bubble. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Such a long explanation about food production. Thank you so much, Mr. Razif. You can have your drink right now. So last but not least, our Miss Nadia will going to explain more about of in terms of medical field.
Thanks for inviting me to this show. I have been dreaming to come to this show since the first episode. So, continuing from our topic today, yeast is a little bit uncommon to public knowing that yeast also has been used in medical fields such as medicine making. And today, I would like to share with you about yeast in cough medicine and for diabetic patients. Noscapine is a non-narcotic cough medicine that obtained from opium poppy. To get noscapine from opium poppy does take a whole year to mature and needs high regulations to extract noscapine because the poppies are dangerous. The poppy is also hard to grow. However, a group of researchers, smoky group from Stanford University, have found out that yeast can produce enough amount of noscapine in 48 hours. And the amount is also same from the extracted poppies.
Wow, that is actually fast. But how did they found it?
Well, they have conducted an experiment of noscapine pathway into single yeast strain. This means that more noscapine can be produced from small amount of yeast and it have easier procedure to extract noscapine. I mean, yeast is not dangerous. Hence, more non-narcotic cough medicine can be produced faster and available worldwide because yeast do not need specialized conditions to grow. Easy. Next, as mentioned by Mr. Razif before about yeast in brewing beer, do you know that brewer yeast also can be used for diabetic patients?
Oh, really? I don't know about that. Can you share with us?
Of course. So, beer yeast is a side product from beer brewing. It has many other uses, but interestingly can be used for diabetic patients. Beer yeast have high level of chromium in it, and chromium is useful in helping body to synthesize insulin more. As a result, sugar level in diabetic patients decrease, and high-density lipoprotein or HDL in their body will increase. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Nadia. I gained new knowledge today that actually yeast also have a role in medical field. Well, I didn't know that before. With the end of the explanation from Miss Nadia, so we have reached the end of the show. But before that, can I have your point of view about our current situation, which is pandemic COVID-19?
I really appreciate today's invitation to share about a very familiar topic among the audience out there. Thank you so much. As we know that the whole country is affected by the epidemic of the COVID-19 pandemic. So I hope that the audience out there continues to maintain social distancing and always take care of yourself.
For me, I hope everyone can receive some new knowledge from today's topic. And because of today's pandemic situation, please wear your mask at all time, practice social distancing, and also wear your hand sanitizer. That's all from me. Thank you for inviting and stay safe, everyone.
I'm so grateful to have experienced guests on today's topic. Thank you so much for still being with me from the beginning of the show until the end of the show. I hope with what we discussed today will be some new knowledge, not only for me, but our audience as well. If there are any mistakes during the discussion that took place today, I apologize. See you in the next episode of Another Day, Another Story with an interesting topic. Stay safe and good night, everyone. Bye.